Hey sis, hey, my name is Abaya Jones, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome. All right, so today we're going to continue our series on how to save $500 a month, and today we're going to be talking about clothing and personal care. So now this is going to be a pretty quick one. Um, And most of these you probably already know and may even already implement. But we do want to go over these 10 tips on how you can save money in this area. So, the first one is going to be to buy clothes during the end of season clearance. Stores will practically give away clothes, when their new inventory arrives. Um, you just have to take advantage of the savings. You know, for example, you can buy winter coats in March, um, or swimsuits in September. Sometimes they can be 70 to 90% off. So you definitely want to take advantage of those savings. All right. So next, you want to shop like secondhand or thrift stores. Thrift shops, consignment stores. There's even online platforms like Poshmark or ThreadUp or um, Marketplace on Facebook. And, they often have like brand names and whatever for a fraction of the price. So it's definitely something you can take advantage of. Um, and you can find kids' clothes especially cheap since they grow out of them so fast. They always have those. All right, so the next tip is to swap clothes with friends or family. Um, you could even host like a clothing swap party or whatever, and everyone, brings items they no longer wear and leaves with something quote unquote new. You know, um, I remember I was in a sister group on Facebook years and years ago. Um, and we did that in there. Dresses that sisters no longer wore or couldn't fit, we swapped, with other sisters. Um, but yeah, that's definitely something to think about. All right, the next tip is going to be to learn basic sewing skills. So, like a missing button or like a small tear, that doesn't mean that you need to buy something new. Um, you can repair those things yourself. Um, even like hand stitching, things can extend the life of your clothes. So, yeah, learn some basic sewing skills. It can help save you money. Um, the next tip is going to be to do your manicures, pedicures, facials, things of that nature at home. A visit to the salon, it's going to cost you um, $25, $50 each visit, sometimes more. You can get like a $10 nail kit at the store, and you can do your own nails for months at a time with those kits. So definitely think about doing those things at home: your manicures, your pedicures, facials, um, all of those things. All right. The next tip is going to be to style your children's hair yourself. Again, instead of paying for it to be done, you can find tutorials on YouTube, and they can show you the basics, and you can become a master at doing your children's hair. Um, this isn't a big one. Um, Usually we do already do our own children's hair, but just in case you're one of the ones that don't, think about doing their hair yourself. Um, and I mean, if you got multiple children that you have to take to get their hair done, you can save hundreds of dollars a year. So definitely think about that one. All right. The next tip is going to be to avoid dry clean only clothing. You'll know these by the label. It will say dry clean only. And those it'll be long term cost, having something that you have to take to the dry cleaner. So yeah, definitely think about that. You want to stick to like washable fabrics, you know, unless it's something like really special, um, like a formal outfit that you have. Other than that, you want to stick to things that are washable. All right, next is going to be to limit trendy clothing purchases. So, fashion changes, it seems like every week, you know, and so, um, you want to focus on like basic clothing that is like timeless, and you can mix and match it for years instead of trying to follow some kind of trends. Um, and we can definitely save money there. Um, the next tip is to resell your unused clothes online or in person. But yeah, instead of letting them sit in your closet, stuff that's not being used, you can sell them on eBay, Mercari, um, Facebook Marketplace. There's several places that you can sell items, um, and they're just sitting there. You might as well be making money on them. So yeah, you can make money that way. Um, and with the money that you make for those, you can um, purchase new clothing, and that'll help save you money by not coming out of pocket, straight out of pocket for it. Or you can just pocket the savings on those clothings. So all right, our last tip is going to be to use like cashback apps for clothing purchases. This is going to be stuff like Rakuten, Honey, or like even Capital One Shopping gives you cash back, or you know apply coupons automatically. Um, and it's a quick way to save 5-10% without any extra effort. So yeah, definitely think about using those cashback apps. All right, so that is going to be it for this video. I told you up front it was going to be a quick one. There's really not a lot to say about these things. It's really self-explanatory. It's not really a lot, to go into with these. So, but implement these tips again along with all the other ones that we are talking about. And yeah, you can save $500 a month. That's what we're working toward. All right. So yeah, if you did like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Um, Subscribe to my channel if this is the content that you like, and I will see you in the next video. Shalom.